Hey guys, just checking in on Fire Emblem. I am in the process of moving, which is why this doesn't look like anybody's house or apartment. I've got a bunch of new characters since the last time I checked in. I think my army is almost like doubled in size. I am right before chapter 11, so I did just play the first castle defense and a level where you had to defend certain parts of the map for a certain period of time. So it was kind of a time stalling one, which I always think are enjoyable, and I think they they appeal to my sense of play, I guess, and some of the units I use. It was definitely a hard map. I felt like on almost every turn I could have lost if I didn't make certain decisions. I think the ability to get rid of the moat, and which was some of your a way of guarding the area, was halfway through the map, was a pretty smart design choice. But I'm still not sold on the my castle stuff. I think it's a good way to pass time in between the levels, but it is kind of odd, I think. So I'm going to talk about the army. Most of the people I originally had, I'm still using. Effie and Arthur and Corin and all that are still very useful. Silas, I'm kind of not entirely sold on. I feel like he might be replaced by certain things, which doesn't seem that strong. Felicia, I have kept using. I didn't let her fall behind. She has been useful in that she can heal, or that she can maybe take out an opponent on the depending on what the army requires. I am using Mozu because I know it'll be useful. She'll be useful in the long run. Her HP is probably something I need to work on before I can really have her be a fighter, but I have been feeding her. Now, when it comes to the new units, Niles the Outlaw, which is a class that's new. I guess it's basically a thief and an archer combined. He was so strong in the first mission I had him in, where I had to fight a bunch of mages, that I actually thought he was an advanced class. So he's good. He's got high resistance and high speed, and I'm kind of starting to wonder if mages are a little underpowered in this one. It seems like I have a lot of tools with which I can use to defeat a mage. Felicia's good at it. Niles is good at it. The mages I have actually aren't as good at it, but we'll get to them in a second. I did get Azura, who is a songstress, and I like the fact that her as a songstress, not only is she an important character in the plot, which makes me care more about her, but she's a songstress, and also she has some healing properties, and that if you stand next to her, I guess you get healed a little bit. It kind of reminds me of some of the crane people in the GameCube Fire Emblem game. But she's cool. I do have two dark mages. I don't know if I needed two dark mages at this point. So I've got Odin and Nyx. Odin is definitely, if not the character, at least the character design of Crom's sister's son in Fire Emblem Awakening. He's not the only one in my army that looks like a character from a previous game, so that is interesting. But I'm not sure which one is better, Odin or Nyx at this point in time. I feel like Odin is probably a little sturdier, certainly with the defense, but like I said, I'm not sure how good mages are at this point in time, so I'm still kind of leveling them and figuring out which one is better before I commit to one or the other. Selena is a mercenary, definitely a character from the previous game, at least the character design. She kind of fits the same slot as Arthur the fighter, but she does do a good job. She's got a nice mix of skills. I think mercenaries in general are usually pretty good, especially as they become heroes. I did just get Baruka, who is a Wyvern rider. I haven't used her that much yet, but usually Wyvern riders that you get early tend to be pretty good, so I'm sure I will focus on her. Last character is Camilla. Camilla is one of the Norian, I guess, princess? Yeah, one of the Norian sisters. Physically very awkward when it comes to her character design. It's definitely fan servicey. When it comes to her class, she's a Malgnite, so she's kind of like a Wyvern rider and a mage all at the same time. She is a character in an advanced class, so she does kind of steal experience away from other things, or has potential for that. I did have to use her in the last mission in order to win. There were times where she had to go kill somebody, or I was just going to lose. Somebody was going to take over the spot, and that was going to be it. So that is my army so far. I'm trying to think if there's anything I'd like to have that I don't have yet. I wouldn't mind a spear guy. It looks like there's like spear guys in this game. I enjoyed them in previous game, and I don't know classes. The class system. I do find it interesting that they've gone away from like the you can pretty much make any character be anything class system. I think that was probably a little bit too free and a little bit too many options, especially for the amount of time that you had to utilize them. Like I felt like it was like, yes, you can be anything. You won't have enough time or experience to get all these skills, but sure. So it looks like in this one you can upgrade through a master seal, traditionally do a couple of choices, or you can switch to the class of your spouse or best friend. So I like the fact that they're making it a little bit more manageable when it comes to the possibilities. But I will let you know how that works out and where I go with my first advanced classes.